the truth.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we got Life Through My Eyes Part 6. And I know I haven't been recording lately. I am sorry about that. I just had to take a little break for myself. Things have been stressful. Things were going on too fast at once, you know. Big round of merch got extended to October 31st until drop. Also, I dropped a breast cancer awareness tee for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Go show your support and pick one up. Also available until October 31st. And let's get right into the video. So the years are 2016 to 2017. So I started this new job as a cook at this bar in Turtle Lake that I worked at. And I would work 4 or 5 days a week, you know, just trying to make the money. And making money was like trying to be responsible because you needed things, obviously, that you had to purchase. And I had to like purchase things on my own. So anyways, like in the last video, I described how I started going to church a lot. Well, I've still continued to go to church a lot. This time I have helped out with so many what do you call the projects? People who needed help with stuff. They'd call the church and they let me and or maybe a couple other people, you know, they'd let us know and we'd go help them. There were a couple times where we did that. Well, I remember doing that so much and being so part of the church. People from the church actually gifted me with a trip to Texas for like a missions trip, you know. So I went on this missions trip in Texas, and I could tell you it was awesome. It was great, you know, the new life experiences, traveling new place. I mean, we rode on a bus, but still, it was still cool. I mean, it was uncomfortable. Yeah, because it was a bus, but just seeing like going through states, seeing all the sceneries and stuff, it was really mind-blowing, you know. But working in Texas and helping these people, like building them houses, because that's what we were doing. We were building them houses. Well, we built them houses, they were fixing up on people's houses they built up last time, or building like stuff onto it, you know. We'd be helping them with that stuff, and then we'd be getting like fresh fruit and all that stuff, like missions work, you know, helping people. And, you know, you make new friends while you're doing that. I've met a couple friends from doing that. I mean, I don't really talk to them anymore, but, you know, they're there. I still met them. They were my friends at the time, you know. But, like, we used to go and play basketball on the basketball court. Like, it was, the place we stayed at was, like, in this big, like, camp, like, RV type thing, like, where people would go stay for, like, the summer, you know, like winter birds. And that little area was just cool. We'd walk around, you know, just take laps or just randomly walk around, and then they had like a little basketball court we'd go play basketball in, you know, normal things what kids would do. Anyways, at night we would play cards, do stuff, you know, just being friends, you know, playing with older people, you know, just play cards and have fun. And a lot of the times we would be playing like blackjack. We'd play for like the little coffee creamers and little coffee sugar packets, you know, and we'd put them all in the middle, and that's what we'd bet on. Well, also after that we'd get done and we'd have to go to bed because we had a certain time, because we had to be up early in the morning to go work. Well, we woke up in the morning, we'd go take a shower and get ready for the day, and then we would go and go get ready. And then we'd go into the house where we were playing cards at, but we'd go into there because that was like the kitchen area where like the dining room, like where the tables and all were at. And we'd go have breakfast, you know, chit chat, and we'd say prayer and sing a couple songs, and then we'd go work. And that was like that for the whole week. And on the way home from that trip, we stopped in Branson, Missouri. We stopped at this place, and I mean, their food was great, amazing. I would shout them out if I could, but I can't remember what the name of that place was. But I had this delicious T-bone steak. Oh, it was amazing. It was delicious, best I've had in a long time. Well, after that, we went to this this show, it was kind of like a Broadway play type of thing, but it was like a country skit with like comedy in it, and it was really funny. Don't get me wrong, I laughed my ass off, but it was great. And anyways, after that we went back to the hotel room and we would go swim and do that stuff. Well, some of us kids who didn't like go to bed right away, we'd go still up, go chill in the lobby, and you know, sit there and talk. Just you didn't have to go to bed right away, so you sit there and talk, and then obviously we'd go to bed. And then the next day was obviously the trip home. And on my way though, on our way home and on our way there, I did get to try a Golden Corral. Golden Corrals, now those are something. The rest of the trip was ordinary. We did leave in December, so it was winter time, but Texas, it was hot. So on our way back home, we had to go back to the winter. Obviously, did not like it. Did not miss the hot weather, but it really did change you though. I wanted to go back to Texas. I wanted to go back for a long time, just because it was beautiful. I loved it. And, after that trip was over, being back home, a couple weeks later, or I guess not maybe a couple, more like a few weeks later, my birthday, I turned 18, so the fun started beginning. I guess I can't say fun. I was just turning legal age, nothing too extravagant. I was able to buy nicotine and scratch-offs. So I bought my first pack of cigarettes legally. I just restarted my habit back up again. Big mistake on my part, and, I really shouldn't have. I should have used that time and stopped, but I didn't. But things did not get better for me. Things actually took a very, very, very bad turn for me. And it's one of my moments that sucked in life the hardest. It's what hit me the hardest. And I'm going to tell you, all right? So, the day of March 30th, or I guess the day before March 30th, my stepmom was talking about how she had surprises for me and my sister, and, they were going to be great surprises, but she said we had to get them tomorrow after school. Well, March 30th, the next day came. Wake up in the morning, just an ordinary day, getting ready for school and stuff, and go to school, get home, get done with school, and I get to my house, and the chief of police is sitting in the dining room at the table. And he goes to me and says, "Hey, I need you guys to sit down. I got some news to tell you. Earlier this morning, we found a body at the Turtle Lake Laundromat. And it's your father." That part, I lost it. I went from my normal, happy person, and I lost it. I dropped down. I went to the bathroom, shut the door in the bathroom, locked it, put the drawer in front of it, and I sat there and I bawled my eyes out and I screamed. It's bad. It took a real big toll on me. It wasn't great. I struggled a real lot. I went to school the next day, and I shouldn't have, but I thought it would have helped me, just being there with my friends, helping me trying to get through the situation. And it did, but it was also very hard too. I remember getting to school the next day, and people who did know and people who didn't, people would come up and just randomly give me hugs and say, "I'm so sorry for your loss." And I remember a lot of those days, or a lot of that day, I spent in the room just banging on a drum set. I was I was so angry. I was so pissed. I was so upset. I just wanted to take my anger out on a drum set. It it took a lot from me. It hurt me. I remember calling my mom a few times, my real mom. I remember just calling her and just bawling and screaming on the phone. And I went home that day and it was bad. I remember we went after school that day. We had to go meet with the funeral director and talk about funeral plans and do that stuff. And then Saturday was the visitation, and it was like a native funeral. So we had to do like all the native rituals and all that, their stuff. And then Sunday was the funeral. The Sunday was the last time that I saw my father before he got put in the ground. And I stayed the night. So in native funerals, the closest family members of that person who died has to stay the night with the body. So me, my little sister, and my dad's brother stayed the night there. Well, me and my uncle stayed the night there. My sister didn't want to be there anymore after midnight. Me and my uncle Tyler, we sat there and we spent the night with my dad. And it was one of my hardest things that I go through now. Losing my father, losing that one person, in your life that didn't mess you up. I mean, he was gone from drinking all the time. He was out partying, but when he wasn't, when he was home, he was there for us. He loved us kids very much. I remember after that, I started getting really bad anger problems. I started getting angry a lot, real bad. Like, I had to start going to see a therapist, like anger management type stuff, just to get my anger under control. It was bad. It was not great, and it took a toll on my sister, even worse. But it's hard. It's one of the saddest days of my life, and I don't like to talk about it all the time because he was close to me. But this is part of my story. I gotta share it. I'm sharing everything right now. Getting help, like I said, getting help was a lot of courage. I'm not that person that can just sit there and talk to somebody. I have problems with talking to people. I can't. It's hard. I have to be very comfortable with that person before I can talk to them. Getting help was just terrible. I couldn't do it, but I did it. I went through it, and I got happier. But to move on from the sad part of this story to make things better, I did sit in class one day, and I sat there and I was looking at, guitars, and I saw a Gibson Les Paul. And my dad loved that guitar. He always talked about it with me. And I remember I came up with this Gibson Les Paul, and it said Dad on the inside of it, and I put his date on the bottom of it. And I put that down on a piece of wood, and they liked it, and I liked it. Well, I said, well, you know what? So that's gonna be my tattoo. So for my golden birthday that following year, I turned 19, and I got asked what I wanted for my birthday, and I said I wanted tattoo certificates, money pretty much, so I can buy my tattoo. So I went to school the next day, got done with school, went to work, and, came home from work. Things weren't any better. I said I shouldn't have left Phil's house. She's like, yeah, you shouldn't have. So I called up my aunt the next day and I said, hey, can you pick me up from school? I'm not going back to her house. She said yes, she would pick me up, and she did. Never went back since. So I had to start. That was the beginning of my adulthood. And that's where I'm going to wrap up with today's story. So stay tuned for Friday, where I'm going to do part 7. And don't forget that Big Runner merch is available. Link is in bio. Also, the breast cancer awareness tee is available down in bio. Show your support for those who fought it and conquered it, or those who fought it and lost the battle. Show your support. Much love, guys, and I will see you guys again on Friday. Mwah. Much love.